Powered by Riverside.
Hello and welcome back to Mindful Minutes. I'm your host, Tanesar Poddar. In the last episode, we spoke about two powerful forces that are shaping modern buying. First is the shadow buyer, where AI does the research before the human even shows up. And second, algorithm economy, where visibility is decided before discovery even begins. If you haven't heard that episode, please go back because today we are going to build directly on it. Like I said, now that we know who is influencing decisions, the real question becomes how fast are those decisions actually happening? And more importantly, who's really making them? So let's begin with a paradox for 2026 specifically. Decisions are happening faster than ever, but involving more stakeholders than ever before as well. Welcome to the world of 6-second decision cycle and the rise of AI buying committee. That's what we are discussing today, how AI buyer committees are compressing and complicating every deal. Let's begin. The first part is the 6-second decision engine. Let's start with speed. Traditionally, B2B and high-value decisions look like this. Weeks of research, multiple demos, endless comparisons, internal alignment meetings, probably a lot more list, but time was friction, and friction was expected. This is where AI was introduced. AI just removed this friction. And now today, a buyer asks questions, gets a summarized comparison, sees pros and cons instantly, receives a shortlist, but all of this in seconds. Not minutes, not hours, seconds. Let's anchor this here. AI has compressed the decision-making cycle from weeks to seconds. But let's be very clear, this doesn't mean the final decision happens in 6 seconds. It means the direction of decision gets locked in within seconds. The shortlist is formed, the bias is created, the narrative is set, and everything that follows is just validation. So what's the real shift? Earlier, marketing was probably influenced awareness. Sales influenced decisions. Now, AI influences direction before both marketing and sales even enter the picture. The first few seconds don't close the deal now instead of saying that, let me reiterate. The first few seconds don't close the deal, but they decide which deals are even possible. And that's where we come to the second part, which is the AI buyer committee. Now here is where it gets more interesting. I think because while decisions are getting faster, they are also getting complex. We just spoke about it. Traditionally, we speak about the buying committees that include decision makers, influencers, technical evaluators, finance approvers. All of this includes human. It's a human network. But now what I see is this committee has probably expanded. I would like to say that it's like a ecosystem. So this ecosystem, the decision ecosystem, now includes not just human stakeholders, but AI co-pilots, which is, let's say, GPTs, internal AI tools, recommendation engines, data dashboards, peer communities that are amplified by AI summaries. So now, decisions are no longer made by people alone. They are made by a hybrid committee of humans and machines. Let's try to log this. The buyer committee is no longer human. It's a hybrid of people and AI systems, which means your pitch is interpreted by machines. Your differentiation is being summarized by AI. Your competitors are being compared instantly. But overall, when all of this is happening, the uncomfortable part is you don't control how you are represented inside that committee. That's where I believe the collision happens. How do we mix speed with complexity, or where does this speed meet complexity? How do we try to connect both these things? First, we have a 6-second decision engine driving speed, an AI buying committee that is increasing complexity. So what exactly is happening is there are fast decisions shaped by more inputs than ever before. How about we re-emphasize this again for a combined insight? Decision direction is formed in seconds. That decision is influenced by a hybrid AI human committee. So the combined reality is that decisions are faster but far less controllable. Of course, we're talking about problems, which is why what this is going to break is, or where organizations are quietly struggling is, linear sales processes won't help. You can't guide a buyer step by step anymore. They've already skipped a lot of steps. There won't be any scope for traditional qualification, because by the time a lead comes in, they're not exploring, they're confirming. And the control that you had with messaging or whatever you've carefully crafted as positioning is being rewritten by AI summaries. Last but not the least, sales timing. Sales teams often engage too late now. Well, the real decision momentum has already happened. So how do I reinforce this disruption? I'm trying to influence decisions in meetings while decisions are being shaped before the meetings even exist. So what should I do differently? Again, that's not in tactics. So we're going to stay strategic here. If this is going to be the new reality, then our role shifts to first influence within the first 6 seconds, which means I have to structure content for AI consumption, be present in recommendation layers, and I have to build authority signals that AI trusts, just like we did back in the day with search engines. Now, second, I need to design for the committee, not just the individual. I need to create messaging that works across stakeholders. I need to ensure clarity in positioning because AI hates ambiguity. And I need to anticipate how AI summarizes the brand. Last but not the least, I need to shift from persuasion to pre-alignment. Because earlier I had to convince the buyer. Now I have to align with what buyer already believes. All in all, because that belief was shaped even before I have arrived, or rather you have arrived. So let's ground this again. First, decisions are directionally made in seconds. Second, those decisions are influenced by a hybrid AI human committee. Therefore, our job is not to control the journey, but to shape what happens before it begins. The deeper layer, what I think most people might miss, or let's try to dive a little bit deeper, because I think this is where it could get strategically dangerous. What AI has really done, that is what I believe, is not just compressed time, it has redistributed cognitive effort. Earlier, buyers spent time reducing uncertainty. Now, AI has reduced this uncertainty instantly. So, what happens is buyers have moved on from what are my options to which of these pre-selected options should I trust. That's a completely different psychological state. And AI doesn't just speed up these decisions, it's reframing how decisions are experienced. So when that happens, probably curiosity drops, exploration reduces, and openness narrows. all in all, which means if you're not in the initial AI shaped shortlist, your chances don't decrease, they probably disappear. Here's something more interesting. AI is creating confidence faster than clarity. We are experiencing even while we are preparing content pieces or we are trying to discuss a lot of narratives, we are trying to build on campaigns. AI generated content, AI generated answers are the ones that we are relying heavily on. I think buyers also might be feeling the same because they feel they've done the research, they understand the options, and this seems like the best choice, whatever is given by AI. But in reality, they've consumed a compressed version of reality. And yet they walk into conversations with very strong opinions, preformed biases, and a lower patience for discovery. So this risk is something that I have to handle. If we are not dealing with informed buyers anymore, we are dealing with pre-convinced buyers. That's the topic for today. I would love to hear your thoughts. So before we leave, let me leave you with something that might fundamentally change how you look at your pipeline. What if your sales cycle isn't long? It just looks long. Because the real decision may have happened in just the first 6 seconds. Everything after that, the calls, the demos, the negotiations, might just be the buyer justifying a decision that they've already directionally made. And the big question is probably if AI is helping buyers decide faster, are we even built to respond at that speed? We're going to bring this home because I want this AI series not just to be of problems, but to be about how we approach or what should be our approach to the solutions. So in the next episode, we'll talk about what all this means for leadership, especially for fractional CMOs. If my buyers are invisible, the decisions are compressed, influence are algorithmic, then the strategy itself needs to rewrite. Until then, observe something simple. The next time you make a quick decision after asking an AI tool, pause. Pause and decide, did I decide or did I agree with what was already decided for me? This is Mindful Minutes and Tanay Sarpoddar, and in 2026, speed is not just deciding who wins the deals, it's deciding who even gets to compete. Take care.